Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. Welcome back, students. So today we are going to start this movement in human beings, and it is on page number 52. So the human beings move from place to place mainly by walking or at sometimes by running. So we know that whenever we want to go to one place to another, what we will do, either we will walk or we will run. So movement is performed with the help of bones and muscles. So that movement in which we are either moving or walking or running, that is with the help of muscles and bones. So the bones, a typical adult human body consists of 206 bones. We all know this, that an adult human being that has 206 bones. And the bones, they are the hard part of our body, and the bones, they form a framework that is known as the skeleton. Okay. Now the skeleton that gives shape to our body. If we don't have a bones or a framework that is called a skeleton, there won't be any shape to our body. Okay, so because of the skeleton, there is a well-defined shape that is being given to our body, and the region where two or more bones they are meeting, that is known as a joint. Okay, so what is a joint? A joint is that part where two or more bones are meeting. So bones are held together at joints by tough fibrous band, those are known as the ligaments. Okay, so what we study about bones up to now is that bone is the hard part, and in an adult we have 206 bones. Okay, and bones, they are forming a framework that is known as a skeleton, and where two or more bones they are joining, they are meeting, that point is known as the joint. Okay, and the bones, they are held together at joints by ligaments. The ligaments are the tough fibrous bands. Ligaments are the bands of flexible tissues which help the bones in position. Movement is possible only at joints, right? Because at this point, or it's only there the movement will be possible. So depending on the range of movement they allow. So now the thing is, we are having joints, right? So how much movement these joints are allowing? So on that basis, the joints are of the following types. First one is a fixed joint. So the fixed joint is that, as the name suggests, it does not allow any movement. It is fixed. Okay, so they don't allow any movement. The bones thus joined are immovable. That means they are not moving. Immovable means which is not moving, and they form a single protective covering. For example, joints this between the bones of the skull. So skull is this part. Okay, so the joints that are formed here, they are known as the fixed joints. That means they are not allowing any movement. Now the second one is a slightly movable joint. So these joints have cartilage disc between the bones which allow a slight, as the name itself suggests that it is a slightly movable joint. That means the movement is there, but that is very slight. That means a very light movement is there. For example, joints between the vertebra. Okay. Now we have the freely movable joint. So these allow the one bone to easily freely move on the other one, and it helps us to perform a variety of movements. So in these joints, the bones are covered with fluid, which reduces, because of that fluid, the friction between the bones that are being reduced. Okay, so the freely movable joints are further of the following types. First one is the pivot joint. So it allows movement around an axis. So the pivot joint is that which allows the movement in only one axis. This one is the pivot joint. This is the pivot joint. Okay, so then the joint where the neck joins the head, that means this part. So this is the pivot joint. Okay, so then we have the ball and socket joint. It allows movement in all the directions. Okay, so the head of one bone fits into the cavity of the other bone. For example, joints at this shoulder and the hip. This is the shoulder. This is this ball and socket joint. Then we have a hinge joint. So hinge joint, it allows movement in only one direction. For example, joints at the elbow and the knee, like this. This is the elbow. Then we have the gliding joint. So it allows bones to move or glide over another. For example, the joints that have at the ankle and the wrist. Okay, now the techniques such as X-ray help us to see the different bones. So how are we going to see bones? They are not evident, they are not visible from the outer because they are in the interior part. So how are we going to see the bones that are because of the X-ray, right? Whenever the X-ray techniques are used, we are able to see any harm, any fracture, anything between the joints. Okay, so the images of bones called the X-ray images they are formed by passing the X-rays, right, through the different parts of the body. Then we have the muscles. So muscles are attached to bones and help in movement. We know that the muscles, they are being attached to bones and they help in the movement actually. So they generally work in pair to produce movement. So we can say that bones and muscles, they together combine and they help in the movement. So muscles work by contracting. Contracting means shortening and relaxing means lengthening. This is a contracting and this is a relaxing part. Okay. So when a muscle contracts, it pulls the bone attached to it. It is pulling it. Okay. And whenever the muscle cannot push the back for its original position, for this to happen, the bone needs to be pulled in the opposite direction. So therefore muscles always work in pairs. When relaxed, the other one will contract and vice versa. So in our arm, the biceps and the triceps work together to bring about movement. So these are the images of the arm muscles. These are triceps are contracting, the triceps here are relaxing. Okay. Now that's all for today.